Welcome back to Eagle Discovery. Today we are diving into the mysterious world of North Korea, a place where reality often feels stranger than fiction. Since the armistice of the Korean War in 1953, North Korea, also known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, has gone to great lengths to keep its people isolated from the outside world. With almost no information coming out, what we know often seems unbelievable, yet it is true. Thanks to rare insights from defectors and intelligence sources, we get a glimpse into this secretive nation. Let us explore 15 of the strangest things that you will only find in North Korea. The iconic traffic ladies of Pyongyang. In the bustling streets of Pyongyang, North Korea, young women clad in pristine, neatly pressed uniforms stand out as they direct traffic with remarkable precision and elegance. Known as the traffic ladies, they were first introduced in the 1980s and have since become an iconic symbol of Pyongyang's unique order and control. These women are selected through a rigorous process that evaluates their appearance, age, and unwavering loyalty to the ruling Workers' Party of Korea. Their role requires them to perform strict, synchronized hand signals and maintain flawless posture, all under the gaze of both locals and foreign visitors. The sight of these women on Pyongyang's streets not only represents disciplined traffic control, but also showcases North Korea's emphasis on loyalty, discipline, and dedication. Rain or shine, the traffic ladies' presence reflects a steadfast commitment to their duties, making them a distinctive part of North Korean society and a lasting visual emblem of Pyongyang's organized structure. The three-generation punishment policy. Among the strictest and most feared policies in North Korea is the three-generation punishment. This policy dictates that if an individual is accused of a political crime, the repercussions do not end with that person alone. Instead, the punishment extends across their entire family, affecting children, parents, and even grandchildren. These family members are often forcibly sent to labor camps, where they are subjected to harsh conditions, deprived of basic rights, and forced into a life of relentless hardship. Labor camps in North Korea are notorious for their brutal environments, where survival itself is a challenge, and conditions are designed to break both body and spirit. The underlying purpose of this policy is to create a climate of fear, discouraging any form of dissent or opposition by threatening not only the individual, but their loved ones as well. This approach, known as guilt by association, reinforces the regime's absolute control, effectively silencing potential rebels and critics by making them painfully aware that even a whisper of opposition could lead to severe consequences for those closest to them. For the average North Korean citizen, this means constantly monitoring their actions, thoughts, and words to avoid drawing unwanted attention from authorities. The fear of implicating their family creates a widespread sense of paranoia, keeping the population subdued and preventing any organized resistance against the government's authority. Kijongdong, the fake village. Across the demilitarized zone, DMZ, that divides North and South Korea, a strange and unsettling spectacle unfolds, a village known as Kijongdong. On the surface, this village resembles a vibrant, well-kept community, with rows of neatly painted buildings, illuminated windows at night, and signs of periodic upkeep. However, Kijongdong is what many call a ghost town. Built in the 1950s, it has never housed a single resident and was instead designed as a facade, a propaganda tool intended to project North Korea as a flourishing society and lure potential defectors from the South. Every detail of Kijongdong has been meticulously crafted to appear authentic, but closer inspection reveals the illusion. The buildings are largely empty shells with concrete walls, no interior rooms, and windows that lack glass, making it clear they are uninhabitable. Lights are programmed to flicker on and off to simulate human activity, and loudspeakers once broadcasted messages lauding the North Korean way of life, promoting an idealized image to the South. This constructed village stands as a powerful symbol of North Korea's dedication to crafting a carefully controlled image, even if it's merely an empty shell. Pyongyang's unique time zone. In a powerful and symbolic move to reinforce its independence, North Korea introduced Pyongyang time in 2015, setting its clocks 30 minutes behind those of South Korea and Japan. This adjustment was not merely practical, it was a significant act of reclaiming autonomy, distancing itself from Japan's colonial legacy, which had imposed Tokyo's time zone on Korea. Establishing this distinctive half-hour difference, North Korea made a bold statement of its commitment to shaping an identity separate from its neighbors. This change, however, complicates interactions with other countries, as it introduces logistical hurdles in scheduling and communication. Nonetheless, Pyongyang time stands as a testament to North Korea's pursuit of self-reliance and the government's ongoing effort to mark its own unique path in the global landscape. Through this small but meaningful change, North Korea continues to emphasize its determination to remain unaffected by external influences, underscoring its dedication to a distinctly North Korean identity. The Ryugyong Hotel, the towering skyscraper that never welcomed guests. Standing as a stark monument to ambition and stalled progress, the Ryugyong Hotel in Pyongyang has remained unopened since its construction began in 1987. Rising to 105 stories, it was envisioned to be the tallest hotel in the world, a symbol of North Korea's modernity and capability. However, due to a combination of structural and financial challenges, this massive pyramid-shaped skyscraper has never completed its journey to grand opening. Despite its imposing height and striking design, it now looms eerily over Pyongyang, earning it the ominous nickname, the Hotel of Doom. Years of halted construction and various attempts at revival have made it a subject of fascination and speculation worldwide. Some have even described it as a reflection of North Korea's isolation, a massive yet hollow structure mirroring the country's closed-off state. Though the exterior was finally clad in glass in recent years, the interior reportedly remains incomplete, leaving the Ryugyong Hotel in a strange limbo, a colossal structure that has yet to fulfill its purpose. This silent skyscraper, towering yet empty, serves as a symbol of both ambition and setback, embodying the complicated narrative of North Korea's economic struggles and aspirations. Ban on blue jeans and Western fashion. North Korea's stand against Western influence. In North Korea, blue jeans are strictly banned, as they are seen as symbols of Western culture and influence. This prohibition is rooted in the belief that denim, especially in blue, represents ideals associated with Western lifestyles, which are perceived as threats to the nation's values. Instead, clothing options are limited and conservative, designed to align with the country's socialist identity and ideals of modesty. Fashion in North Korea reflects the government's desire to keep cultural influences from the outside world at bay. Citizens are encouraged to dress in a way that promotes unity and respect for traditional values, often favoring muted colors and simple designs that contrast starkly with global fashion trends. This restriction on Western attire, which includes not only blue jeans but also other elements of popular Western styles, is one of the many ways North Korea tightly controls and limits exposure to external influences, reinforcing its stance on cultural independence. State-approved haircuts, the strict rules on personal style in North Korea. In North Korea, individuality in hairstyles is not an option. The government enforces strict guidelines on how citizens should wear their hair, providing a limited selection of state-approved haircuts. Men and women are given a choice from a predefined list of styles, designed to reflect modesty and national values, with men often encouraged to adopt the same haircut as the country's leader. This choice is not just about appearance, it's a reflection of the government's desire for conformity and uniformity across society. For men, the styles are typically short and conservative, while women's approved options are simple and neat, often emphasizing traditional looks. The regulation of haircuts serves as a powerful symbol of state control over personal expression, sending a clear message that individuality is secondary to the collective image of unity and loyalty. By standardizing even the smallest aspects of daily life, such as hairstyles, North Korea underscores its commitment to preserving its cultural ideals and maintaining strict oversight over its citizens. The Kim dynasty's cult of personality, reverence beyond leadership. In North Korea, the admiration and respect for the Kim family transcend ordinary leadership, creating a unique and intense cult of personality surrounding the ruling dynasty. From the eternal president, Kim Il-sung, to his descendants, each leader is revered with a near-religious devotion. Portraits of Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, and now Kim Jong-un are displayed prominently in homes, workplaces, and public spaces, symbolizing their omnipresence in daily life. Statues, monuments, and memorials dedicated to the Kims are widespread, and citizens are required to show deep respect for these images, even bowing or saluting in their presence. This reverence goes beyond typical respect for national leaders. It is an ingrained part of North Korean society, where the Kims are depicted not only as political figures, but as near-divine, guiding figures whose teachings shape every aspect of life. Schools, media, and cultural practices reinforce their legacy, portraying the Kim family as protectors and providers of the nation. The almost sacred status of the Kims serves as a powerful tool for unity and control, embedding loyalty and reverence for the leadership deeply within the national identity. Limited Internet and the Bright Star Network, North Korea's controlled digital world. In North Korea, Internet access is tightly restricted, with the majority of citizens limited to a closed domestic network known as Kwangmyong, or Bright Star. Unlike the open Internet most of the world enjoys, Kwangmyong is a carefully curated network offering access only to state-approved websites, educational resources, and propaganda material. This closed system is designed to control information flow, ensuring that North Koreans see only content aligned with government ideology, and preventing exposure to outside ideas and influences. Only a select few individuals, typically high-ranking officials or those with special authorization, are allowed limited access to the global Internet. Even then, their online activities are closely monitored to prevent unauthorized communication or information exchange with the outside world. This controlled digital landscape serves as a powerful tool for the government to maintain its ideological stronghold, effectively isolating North Korean society from global news, entertainment, and social media. The Bright Star Network symbolizes the regime's commitment to information control, reinforcing the isolation that keeps the country's citizens insulated from external perspectives. No freedom of religion, how belief is replaced by loyalty in North Korea. In North Korea, freedom of religion is virtually non-existent, as any form of spiritual belief or religious practice is seen as a potential threat to the state's authority. The government strictly controls all forms of ideological influence, promoting devotion to the ruling Kim family as a substitute for religious faith. This cult of personality surrounding the Kims functions as a state-mandated belief system, where citizens are encouraged to show unwavering loyalty and reverence to their leaders in a manner that resembles religious worship. Expressions of religious faith, whether private or public, are not tolerated and can lead to severe repercussions, including imprisonment or forced labor. The state views organized religion as incompatible with the ideological purity it seeks to maintain, as any loyalty directed outside of the government's control is perceived as a challenge to its power. By discouraging religious practices and promoting the Kim dynasty as the central figure of devotion, North Korea aims to ensure that all ideological focus is placed solely on the leadership, reinforcing its grip over both the minds and hearts of its people. Restricted movement, the tight control over travel in North Korea. In North Korea, freedom of movement is heavily restricted, both within the country and beyond its borders. Citizens are generally assigned specific areas to live and work, and any travel outside these designated zones requires special authorization from the government. These permits are difficult to obtain, making even short trips a bureaucratic challenge. This control over internal movement allows the government to keep a close watch on its citizens, limiting interaction between different regions and controlling the flow of information. When it comes to international travel, the restrictions are even more severe. Only a very small number of North Koreans, usually government officials or athletes participating in international events, are allowed to leave the country, and even then, they are closely monitored. For the average citizen, seeing the outside world is virtually impossible, as the government aims to keep North Koreans insulated from foreign influences and perspectives. This strict limitation on movement ensures that most citizens remain unaware of life beyond North Korea, maintaining the regime's control over its population's worldview and access to external ideas. Disrespect is considered a serious crime. In North Korea, any act of disrespect toward the country's leaders is treated as a severe crime, carrying serious consequences. Actions such as defacing, damaging, or even mishandling photos, statues, or other depictions of national leaders like Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, or Kim Jong-un can lead to imprisonment, forced labor, or even more severe punishments, depending on the perceived severity of the offense. The government demands absolute reverence for these leaders, as they are regarded not only as political figures, but as symbols of national pride and unity. In addition, citizens are often required to attend state-organized events, including mass gatherings, rallies, and ceremonies, where loyalty to the ruling party is publicly demonstrated. Failure to participate or show adequate enthusiasm is seen as a lack of respect and can bring suspicion, social reprimand, or even investigation by authorities. This strict enforcement of respect goes beyond mere admiration, as citizens are regularly monitored to ensure their public behavior aligns with the state's expectations. The pervasive culture of enforced loyalty and reverence strengthens the government's control over society, embedding respect for authority into everyday life. Controlled media and airwaves. In North Korea, the government maintains an iron grip over all media and broadcasting channels, ensuring that only state-approved content reaches the public. Foreign media is strictly banned, and any attempt to access outside information, such as foreign news, movies, or internet sites, is punishable by law. Televisions and radios are manufactured or modified to receive only government-controlled channels, which broadcast a steady stream of propaganda, news, and entertainment that align with the state's ideological messaging. This strict control extends even to devices owned by individuals. Radios and televisions are preset to receive only local channels, effectively blocking any foreign broadcasts. Regular inspections by authorities ensure that no modifications are made to access outside signals, and tampering with these devices is a serious offense. This level of isolation prevents citizens from gaining an understanding of life outside North Korea, reinforcing the government's narrative and fostering a worldview that aligns solely with the regime's interests. By controlling the information landscape, the government shapes public perception, keeping the population unaware of global events, foreign cultures, and alternative perspectives. Suppression of K-pop. K-pop, the vibrant music phenomenon that has captivated audiences globally, is strictly banned in North Korea. The government considers this genre, with its catchy tunes, expressive dance, and modern themes, a direct threat to its strict cultural control. Listening to South Korean music is not only seen as rebellious, but also as an act of defiance against the North Korean regime. Those caught with K-pop music face harsh punishments, which can range from lengthy prison sentences to forced labor or worse, as the government seeks to eliminate any influence it perceives as undermining its authority. Despite these dangers, some North Koreans go to great lengths to smuggle in K-pop songs and music videos, often hidden in USB drives or microSD cards obtained through black markets or smuggled across the border. These acts of defiance reflect a deep curiosity and admiration for the outside world, as K-pop represents a glimpse into a freer, more expressive lifestyle. For many, the risk of listening to this music is worth the brief escape it provides, even as the government intensifies its crackdown on such cultural infiltration. This underground demand for K-pop highlights a growing, albeit secret, interest in global culture among North Koreans, challenging the state's efforts to maintain complete ideological control. In North Korea, the ability to make international calls is heavily restricted and requires government authorization. Only a select few, typically high-ranking officials or individuals with special permissions, are granted access to communicate beyond the country's borders. Even within North Korea, domestic phone use is closely monitored and restricted, with most citizens limited to a closed domestic network that cannot connect with foreign numbers. The state enforces strict surveillance on all forms of communication, including phone conversations, to prevent any unauthorized contact with the outside world. North Koreans caught attempting to make an illegal international call can face severe consequences, including imprisonment or forced labor. This rigid control over telecommunications serves to isolate the population from foreign influence, keeping them unaware of global events and preventing them from building connections outside North Korea. By restricting international communication, the government ensures that citizens remain insulated within the state's controlled narrative, with little access to alternative perspectives or information. This policy is part of a broader strategy to maintain an ideological barrier around the country, reinforcing the isolation that keeps North Koreans disconnected from the global community. Each of these strange restrictions and controls offers a glimpse into a world where individual freedom is limited and conformity is strictly enforced. North Korea remains one of the world's most secretive and tightly controlled countries. Stay tuned for more fascinating insights into unusual places here on Eagle Discovery.